Adenyke Israel Bolarinwa is the Executive Director of Esther's Preparation Room. She holds a bachelor's degree in Business and Computing from London Guildhall University, UK, and a master's in Business Administration from Keller Graduate School, US. She has consulted with different organizations in the healthcare and financial services industry and is a leading professional in the field of data privacy and risk management. Adenyke is a relationship coach and she is the host of Relationships with Adenyke talk show. She is married to a teenage sweetheart, Oluwaseun, and together they have 3 daughters. EPR Global welcomes Adenyke Israel Bolarinwa to the 2020 Imagines Conference, Illuminate.
Welcome to day 1 of the Emergence Conference. I'm so glad to have you join us over the next 2 days because I know you will be truly blessed. My name is Adenyke Israel Bolarinwa and I'm the convener of the Emergence Conference. Now, this is our first virtual conference and the team have done a lot and made a lot of effort to ensure you have an amazing digital experience that's impactful and life-changing. Please take advantage of all the conference has to offer and take time out to network with all the amazing delegates that will be here over the next 2 days. I'd like to personally thank all our speakers who have honored our invitation this year. I also want to appreciate our vendors, sponsors, and exhibitors who continue to partner with us every year to make the Emergence Conference a huge success. You know, as I was thinking through a lot of what's been going on, and the theme for this year, Illuminate, I couldn't help but think about all that we've gone through this 2020 and how apt this word is. I'm sure you will agree with me that this year has been a roller coaster of emotions and challenges as we continue to deal with a global pandemic and the upheaval this has brought into all of our lives. I sense, that the major disruption to everything that we know as normal, and going forward, there really is a dire need for us to think strategically on what it would take to navigate our new normal in this new decade. As we prepare to go into the new year, which is less than 45 days, I reckon it's time for us to take some time out to document specific changes we must make and act upon in order to lay fresh tracks for the future ahead of us. As I was reflecting on the topic, pyramids of the mind, and I was thinking, how am I going to approach it? My mind went back to, the phrase, the 7 wonders of the world. And I remembered one in particular, the Great Pyramid of Giza, built as a tomb by ancient Egyptians over, I believe, a 10 to 20 year period, concluding around about 2560 BC. It's one of the oldest of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, and the only one to remain largely intact till date. Initially standing at about 481 feet, the Great Pyramid was the tallest man-made structure in the world for more than 3,800 years until the Lincoln Cathedral was finished in about 1311 AD. Now, what started as an idea in the minds of ancient Egyptians in 2560 BC and took them 20 years to complete remains intact till date. Now, thinking about what it took to build this wonder back in the day, when they only had a fraction of the knowledge and the technology we possess today, it reminds me once again of the innate power we possess as human beings to conceive an idea, visualize it clearly in our minds, document it, socialize it with those who are significant to execute it, and with hard work and strategic planning, bring it to the point of manifestation in our physical world. This leads me to encourage somebody here that no matter how difficult and challenging things may have been for you right now, especially in a year like 2020, you can still bring out the wonderful ideas in your mind by applying the same principles. So today I'm just going to quickly touch on 3 important questions that I feel we all need to carefully consider as we explore how to bring the next pyramid that is sitting in our individual minds, bring it into the world in this season, in this decade, in this dispensation. What are those 3 questions? The first one, what do you see? And I'm going to talk about a picture. What's the picture that's playing out in your mind right now? We are created in the image of God, which makes us creatives, which means we're all very visual people. At any given moment, we have a picture in our minds, an image that plays out mostly in our subconscious, that impacts how we see life and at times how we feel about ourselves or the things around us. This is why we must deliberately guard our hearts and our minds against the negative images that present themselves continually, and instead embed in our hearts images of God's plan for us and of a future that we desire, irrespective of what 2020 looks like today. The second one is perspective. When you look around you, what do you see? How are you interpreting the events unfolding in 2020? This year has seen unprecedented changes, which has impacted every area of our lives, our career, our business, our ministry, finances, health, and overall well-being. The lockdown experience especially was like nothing we'd ever seen before. However, it presented us with a time for reflection. In the midst of the chaos and the crisis, let me ask you, have you taken enough time to really evaluate the opportunities that 2020 has presented to you and to deliberately reprioritize your goals as needed? Have you allowed your mind process the infinite possibilities available to you in this season? It's time to see things from a different perspective, God's perspective. When we see things the way God sees them, we have the opportunity to respond the right way, to make the right decisions, and to take the right actions. Now I'm going to ask about the person, which is you. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? Sometimes we allow our background and experiences to determine who we think we are and what we can do. You are designed and created in love to fulfill a purpose. You are hardwired with everything you need to be you and to achieve your dreams. Your mind is the greatest asset that's given to you by God. Whatever changes that we need to make in our lives must start in our minds. Whatever picture that we see of our future must start in our lives, in our minds, because that's how God designed us. So let me ask you, have you recently assessed the relationships around you? Because they determine who you are and at times what you're able to do. Have you thought to yourself, who is on my personal board of directors? Who are the people close to me? Have you thought deeply about how you're going to invest your time and your energy going forward into a new year so you can achieve your objectives? Have you thought about what sacrifices are you going to have to make so that things turn out differently? My second question, what do you think? There's something about progressive thinking, which is where you can make significant changes as you experience and you challenge the patterns that you live by. You can't put new wine in old wine skin. You can't progress in the new normal with the old mindset. Can I challenge you over the next 2 days to reassess your old assumptions and embrace new ways of thinking? I'm hoping that as you go through this conference, there will be illumination for you to have possibility thinking. These are exciting times. Like the pyramids of Egypt, we have the opportunity to come up with creative solutions, innovative ideas, new ways of doing things, which may sound impossible today, but could become the wonders or the inventions of tomorrow. Don't discard any ideas that comes to you over the next few days or even in this season. Take time out, put it out on a notepad, put it out on your computer, on your laptop. Capture the thoughts that fill your mind. Expand and let it be illuminated. And then also I want us to focus on what I call power thoughts. I don't know about you, but 2020, it has been difficult keeping my mind positive this year because there's been a barrage of bad news almost every other day. Our minds are constantly barraged with fear, negativity, limitations from the news, fake news. But we must be deliberate to ensure that we keep our minds by meditating on whatsoever things are authentic and real, honorable and admirable, beautiful and respectful, pure and holy, merciful and kind. A heart of gratitude goes a long way to help you with your positive thinking and to think creatively. My third question, what will you do? You've got to reposition yourself because the game has changed. The next move is yours, however. You can't stay in the same place you were at the close of last decade. There's a need to plan strategically and take tactical steps in the interim for where you want to go, irrespective of the issues around us right now. Have you experienced challenges in your industry? It's time for you to reposition yourself, to think out of the box. If you've operated as an employee, you need to probably think of yourself as a consultant now that there is a global opportunity to work remotely. You may want to think about your business and start to say, how can I go outside of what I'm used to look at who I can partner with, who do I have complementary, services and products to. You also need to retool yourself. I'm sure we've all heard a lot about this year. And if you're like me, we can be a bit guilty of hearing it but not doing anything about it. So let me challenge you. Have you developed a plan for how you're going to extend yourself, add to your vision, develop commensurate skills for where you want to go to, for the new level of creativity and the ideas that's coming to you? Do you need to take additional courses in whatever you need to do? Digital marketing, learning AI, teaching, crowdfunding, anything that comes to your mind. What step are you going to take to get the tools that you need? And finally, you need to release yourself. Are you like the athlete that hears on your mark, get set, but you never get to go? Henry Ford once said, obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal. Write your vision. Put it where you can see it daily. Start small. Focus on one goal. Examine your why. State it publicly. Be passionate. Maintain an environment of inspiration. Finally, I'd like to remind everyone that these are exciting times, albeit they are clothed in uncertainties and challenges. My prayer is that you will receive illumination during this period as you engage in all that the conference sessions have to offer and as you prepare for the upcoming year. I'll be back later as we delve further into some of our fireside chats with our speakers. Thank you so much.